Hi, this is your girl Leanne, aka Lola, which is an acronym Buddhas and butterfly. That, that. Let me turn off the internet and see if that will help. Well, let me turn on the. For some reason, I'm connected to something, but it is not giving me the best. So, 2 million in the chat, 1 million likes. Again, today's topic is about creating balance. Good morning, Juana. Hi, my love. I love you. Sending you a lot of love. Creating balance when there is none. I have been 3 million in the chat, 1 million like. I have been literally cultivating in my own practice and in my own self, trying to balance adulting stuff with the fun, free inner child movement stuff. And I think it's my end. I turned off the Wi-Fi, which is cheap Wi-Fi, and I just went with the phone data. So I'm dealing with cultivating a balance between doing the work. Let me just do that with doing the work, and then yeah, it might be me with doing the work of keeping myself balanced, and then with finding this left brain stuff that has to be done with running a business and owning a business, and then the right brain stuff that makes me feel good, and the creative stuff, even like the YouTube stuff, which is to me is super creative. I've been trying to figure out the balance of how to organize the process better, because that's the left brain. You organize better, you write down ideas, you get inspired, you create by having an organization, and then you create within that organization. And I have been fighting and not fighting, but trying to cultivate a good balance between the two, and have really been struggling with this, balance, finding balance where there's none. The left brain things have to happen. I have to pay the electric bill. I have to post the classes. I have to get the Groupon up. I have to do those things. And then the balance is that I have a craft show coming up. I have to do the craft things. I have to. So we have this big list that runs in our head that I think is affected by the ego and the things that have to be done to keep us alive and kicking in this present now, in this present us. So I find that I'm struggling a little bit. So I wanted to kind of come with that in mind, that I'm struggling with finding a balance when there is no balance, even in engaging in a spiritual practice, and a very not dogma, but a very organized daily spiritual practice has been difficult for me to do. If I this is my morning and ritual, my rituals crafted is what my morning practice looked like for me before I started to share it. I would pick up a book and I would read from the book, and this would be, I would machinate on that. There it is, Danielle. And I would read something, and then I would ingest it in my heart, in my soul, and then from there I would work it for the day. And the word work it means it's just let it be resonate in my soul for the day. And I've been struggling with my own practice, So it's like, how do we cultivate a balance, and how do we cultivate giving ourselves the space to be in balance? How do we do that without the guilt? Because my left brain always wants me to be working and moving and doing. I get up at 5, 4:45, so that I can get to my studio for my 7 o'clock class. So I get up at 4:45 because it does take 25 or 30 minutes to get to my studio. So I have to get up early enough to get dressed, have a cup of coffee, drink some water, feed the cats and dogs, and try to find balance. So here's the balance in that. I am trying to figure out how to structure this so I don't show up to the studio erroneously, or not necessarily, when I don't need to. If there's going to be somebody here to teach, then maybe I come when there's going to be somebody to teach, and give myself a little bit of leeway to create and cultivate the left brain things that have to happen, at home on my big computer. I have to do bookkeeping things, and I have to add things in and take things out. Just all that left brain stuff, proposals and all kinds of stuff. So this is why I was prompted from Danielle. Shout out to Danielle K. Anderson. Shout out to shout out to Danielle K. Anderson. Okay, for prompting me for prompting me to actually come forward. I'm sorry for the phone ring. I thought I had turned it off. For coming forward and saying, "Hey, what are you doing here? It's Monday, and it is Monday, it's not the responsibility of it, but it's Monday, and it's like this. I love to do this. So what is how do I get into the heart space so that I can continue to cultivate doing something that I love to do, which is coming live and sharing with you guys a reading, and then we talk about it, and then we share some things, and then we move from there. I think that too, as we go into this full moon in Pisces, that energy is affecting our ability. Well, it's affecting mine, and I think it'll affect everyone in roughly the same way. It's just affecting our ability to be gentle, and to have compassion for ourselves. It's one of the things that I put into my last video, is that you must have compassion with yourself and with others during this energy coming in from full moon in Pisces. It's about being compassionate with you being stuck, or transitioning, or integrating, or up leveling, or raising your vibration. You have to be gentle. So I did what Daniel said, and I just turned to a page. And until today, Daily Devotions by Ayana Van Zandt. I know it's backwards. This is one of my books I love. February 11th. And I'm going to put on some glasses so I can see. And hopefully it's not lagging super bad. And I apologize if it is. February 11th. I will know love when I realize people will come into my life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Thank you, Danielle. Shout out to you. Because this is, yeah. Leaving just isn't easy. It's unfortunate, and it happens. When it comes, we fight it because leaving someone you have spent time with, living with, and loving is not easy. In every relationship, regardless of how it started or how it is ending, there are so many things that you have convinced yourself could and should keep you together. They do, until the day you realize the things that once worked no longer do. You've changed, you've grown. The little things that once brought a smile to your face are now a burden in your heart. You know what you have to do. You just don't know how to do it. You don't want anyone, especially you, to get hurt. You know that if you could just say it with what you feel. If you could just move beyond the fear, the guilt, the anticipation of anger, you could close this door. It wouldn't be easy, but you can move on. You know you have done the best you could. You know that you've given all that you have to give. Yet for some reason you keep on trying to make it work. Well, here is something that you may not know. When you have learned all that you can learn in a relationship, its season will end. When you have healed what you came into the relationship to heal, its purpose will have been fulfilled. When a relationship is over, it is over. Hanging on will only make the day ahead darker. Until today, you may have thought that ending a relationship was difficult, challenging, or an unnecessary experience. And just for today, be devoted to the knowledge, acknowledging and accepting all that you have learned and all that you have healed. When you get grateful for these things, it will be easier to let go. Today, and the mantra for today is, today I'm devoted to acknowledging lessons learned, blessings earned, and wounds that have been healed. So for me, even though this didn't have anything to do with really balancing out the getting balance where there is none, it spoke great volumes to me that that I'm sorry, I'm getting okay. It spoke great volumes to me that I can let go of things that are not serving me, and that I can integrate into my own space and my own self, releasing these left brain things that are making me feel guilty. So for me, this goes towards the relationship of me with myself, and also me with making myself feel guilty about not completing things, or not organizing time better, or not um, should the shoulding on myself. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I should show up. I should do my YouTube videos. I should make thumbnails. I should, and when you get into this mantra of what you think you should be doing and what you think you should create, you have stepped out of Holy Spirit and into ego, because now you're correcting yourself in a way that is not fulfilling your highest and best good. So here it is today. I needed to create balance where there is none, and I was feeling very unbalanced. And I wanted to just find peace and find something within me that needed to be grounded down in this wonderful experience known as life. We're in this space and in this life and in this place creating, and we also have to find the balance of playtime and love and friendship and communion and community. And yes, stop shitting on yourself. And so how do you find the balance? I believe, for me, it's about carving it out for myself and going back to this. I actually schedule left brain activities because I'm not the best at them. I carve out time and I say, for this hour, I will be working on website. And I also notice that when I do that and I only give an hour to it, if I go past the hour, things start to go wrong. Okay? Hello, honeycomb love is in the building. So I like to carve out it in that way. And then after that hour is done, I take an hour to create something, or I take an hour to go outside, or I take an hour to make food, or I do it in this way so that we go from creation, left brain creating to right brain creating to left brain creating to right brain creating. That makes it better for me, and I receive balance in an unbalanced place. My husband always wonders how I'm creating in a space that is completely a mess. Like I have my craft room has things all over. It has projects started, and they start, and then everything goes in a circle in my room. Like, I have one that I started on the new moon, one that I started on the last full moon, and I have all these projects going, and then I have lists of things. And for me, that's just how it works, with finding the balance in that and finding the joy of creating in this unbalanced way, to find balance in the unbalance. So I feel like if you're in a state of unbalance and you feel like that you're running, and there's no joy, then you have to carve out time. You have to be a little selfish so you can be selfless in the end. You have to stand up and take the time for you that is necessary to slow it down, to breathe into those moments, and to carve out the time. Especially if it's something you find joy in doing. Carve out the time. Carve out the time and figure out what it needs to look like for you, so that it can be beautiful and wonderful, and it can feed your soul. Because ultimately what we're doing is we're feeding our soul. That's ultimately what we're doing. And that, to me, right brain creates, left brain completes. Correct. And this is has been what I want to say for me has been maybe the hardest thing to understand. And thank you, Danielle, for that. That needs to be on a shirt. That's a t-shirt. Right brain creates, left brain completes. And this is like, my right brain is always throwing ideas out, always. I have like a little tiny book this size that I just write ideas down about things that make no sense, like a wheeled roller case suitcase that holds a guitar and a piano. Like, it don't make no sense. I don't know why this stuff comes into my head, but it comes in, and I'm like, okay, some things I might never move on or act on. But I don't know if it was Carl Jung or Alan Watts. It might have been Alan Watts that said that ideas, that you should write down 50 new ideas a day, even though you're not really going to work them all out. Write them down, because those are currency, that they can equal to something that will create currency or money. They're an abundant thought. So an abundant thought, writing them down and capturing them, it helps you to continue to cultivate the abundance. So Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. So I'm going to actually do a quick read from the Science of the Mind, and then I'm going to be out. We're going to open it up, get to some bibliomancy. 3 or 4? See, now I'm going to ask Danielle if she's here. 3 or 4? Is Danielle still here? 4. I knew you were going to pick 4. God's law is written in my heart. Since the only life that you can live is the life of the spirit within you, you need but permit its radiance to flow through your thoughts into self-expression. Eerie, I just said that. You are surrounded by a dynamic force, a great surge of living power. You are immersed in and saturated with the vital essence of life. Its presence permeates everything, binding all together in one complete whole. Say, because my whole being is the life of God in me, I have nothing to fear. Everyone I meet is part of the same wholeness in which I live. Every person I meet is a center of a great unity of life. It is the center of life that I meet in all persons. It is this unity in and through all that I respond to. I cannot wish anyone harm, nor does anyone desire to harm me. Through my consciousness of love, which is the very essence of goodness, I transform my apparent imperfections into perfect idea of true being. I am knowing people as God knows them. I am seeing everything as God must see it. His law is written in my mind and felt in my heart. I see God everywhere. That is amazing. I love that. It's radiance to flow through my thoughts into self-expressions. I permit its radiance. You are surrounded by dynamic force, a great surge of living power. And we are surrounded by that. And we are immersed in that. And how we can find balance is to remember that. And so the moments that we feel that we are, I've been feeling overwhelmed slightly and feeling, as I said to you guys last week, inadequate. And the overwhelmedness is because I don't know how to run a business. I have to be honest with that. I don't understand the process of bookkeeping and taxes, and I feel overwhelmed and fearful. Okay. Good morning, Keisha. I just got your inboxes. I feel overwhelmed with running a business, and I feel overwhelmed with trying to figure out how to make it work. And I feel overwhelmed with that stuff, that left brain, that adulting stuff. Like Danielle said, adulting is hard. But necessary in the sense that it has to happen. But then here we come to this reading, and it says very clearly that since the only life that you can have is the life of the spirit within you, you need but permit its radiance to flow through you into self-expression. So that means that the only thing I have to do in this process of me feeling frustrated or inadequate or unknowing is to allow me to know that spirit is really creating and supporting everything that's going on in this lovely expression known as Yan and Buddhas and butterflies, and that my exterior and condition is that of an expressed, balanced outcropping of God. And the moment that I just release that I'm controlling and surrender into this knowing, then I think I'll be all right, and I can release the feeling of inadequacy, even though even as I say to you, I feel the word that comes up is overwhelmed with not understanding how to run this business. I mean, the light bill has to be paid, the gas bill, the internet, the rent, that kind of stuff. Because I rented an apartment, own a home. I know how to do that stuff, but it's how to make it generate money that I'm burping, excuse me, it makes me fearful. That means that had to come out. So it's pretty interesting to share that. So, resolutions, I don't know if there's really any. Um, Feeling balanced when there's none, how to feel that balance when there's none. I am going to do the practice of sharing these readings with you today, and deepening into the spirit that I know that is helping me through this process. And I'm going to do a lot of yoga today because I got to teach. And I'm going to also start to cultivate a time frame for these left brain activities again, so that they're written down, and I have to show up for me. I think that recently I just was talking to a friend of mine about showing up for yourself. I was talking to my son about showing up for yourself. I was talking about everybody about showing up for yourself. And my proof for showing up for myself and how well that works out is doing the 30 day 30 video challenge, and how that helped to cultivate not just this process today, but the actual building I'm sitting in and standing in. But it had started way before, way before that. Um, she take pennies. So, um, yeah, it's pretty interesting just to, yeah, here is this. And you are so right, Daniel. I need an accountability partner. I need one bad, and I have to figure out how to bring that into my awareness. She's like, she'll take pennies. Yeah, well, I don't even know. I have to get a big truck of pennies. I have to get a dump truck of pennies. Dump. Guys, like what? What? So yes, yeah. I yeah. Thank you for pointing that out to me, Danielle. I appreciate that. You are correct. As we all know, that like having an accountability partner helps us to really be accountable to getting things completed. And if you're and I, even as a coach, I should be having a coach, and coaching out the business stuff, because that's probably what I needed help with the most. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. And moving into resting into the spirit. Yeah. I appreciate that message, and I receive. I receive, and I love you for that. Let's pray real quick, because I got to go teach yoga. Plant your feet on the ground. Take an inhale and exhale with the sound of ah. Inhale. I'm just taking a moment to deepen into the spirit and deepen into the space inside the heart, behind the heart, where God lives, and where the goddess energy resides, where Mother Earth and Father Sky live, the elementals, the ascended masters, the ancestors reside, all those that have your best and highest good in store for you live. And breathing in with every inhale and exhale, balance into the soul, into the spirit, into the heart, into the body mind, into the very cracks and crevices of your whole existence. And breathing out in balance with every breath. And imbalance comes forward to us as tension in the neck and shoulders, tension in the hips and knees, tension in the body and the mind. So we are softening the mind with balance, softening the mind with breath, softening the thoughts, the shoulds, the shoulding on, the should do's, releasing those. And stepping into the knowing that there's joy in all aspects of creation, be it left or right brain creation, that there is joy and completion, and that we are striving just for completion and not perfection. We are striving to get it done. Abraham Hicks says, you'll never get it done and you'll never get it right. And that means to me that we have a chance to remake and redo always every aspect of life. So leaning into the knowing that we can create and remake and create and remake and create and remake every aspect within us, and every obstacle. We can remove that with just breathing into this space of knowing that we can delegate and perhaps partner and create relationships that soften the tension within us, that soften the feeling alone, that soften the frustration and anxiety that we create within our mind as we try to process through things alone. Bringing breath into that and bringing air and light and joy, we soften that. And we plant the seed of knowing that we are so ultimately never alone. And that the moments that we feel as though we are struggling, we gaze behind us and see what one set of footprints in the sand. That's what I'm seeing. We know we are being carried divinely, and that we are being supported divinely, and that we are cultivating with every breath and inhale and exhale divine, loving outcroppings and the pouring of relationships and business ships, friendships, and letting go of those relationships and business ships that may not serve us, letting go of those. And letting go of the shitting on ourselves and creating a joyfulness in the left brain adulting activities. There is joy in that. There is fun in that. There is excitement in learning. There is creating. Doing it once because the second time will be much easier. We plant this seed of joy into law where it is made manifest right now. And so it is. Amen. And take an inhale and exhale with the sound of ah. Inhale. And drop the chin to the chest. Inhale one more time. Inhale and exhale. Ah. Inhale. And slowly opening the eyes. Hallelujah. Amen. Ashe. Hotep. Blessed be, and so it is. I love you all. Thank you for showing up today. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share me with a friend because I'm super shareable. Look how cute. Yes, I shall. And I love you guys. Remember that you must soften into your creation, and all the creation, even the left brain creation, is beautiful creation. And that probably has helped me change this moment right now the most, to just have that download that when we create even the left brain adulting stuff, it's still beautiful. I love you. I'll see you Wednesday live in the morning. And then we're going to start doing that card stuff again. I'm just not sure what day. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.